Hey folks, my name is Pravus. Welcome back to more Plague Inc. Evolved Custom Scenarios. We're going to try out something today called the Explodovirus by I'm an Idiot. Nanovirus, but fully infected countries explode. Well, that's easy. It's a good thing I read this description, huh? Because people might get mad at me if I didn't read the description, huh? For those who don't know what I'm talking about, the last video just went live with the anti-Necroa here, and people argued I didn't read it, and then that's why I got confused. Oh, guys, no, I read it. I read it all. It's just there's a lot. I gave you Cliff Notes versions. I don't think most people want to listen to me read for 10 minutes going through all of this. That would have taken way too long, and I do have to make good content. But, yeah, no, the good news is that scenario's been rebalanced in a pretty good way, and it is a really good one. It's a really good scenario. Anyway, Explodovirus, let's go ahead and begin. So we have to play with a nanovirus. I don't even know why this is popping up. You don't have to have this menu in order to do this. You can just go straight to this point. But let's go ahead and go with our normal setup: ATP boost, genetic mimic, oxide, stream of hell, and symptostasis. Those who watch my 2025 guide for the nanovirus know that I've swapped over to a very symptom-focused win path for this disease, and it does tend to work really well. I'll try doing this on Mega Brutal. I'm not really sure what's going to happen with the automatic explosion, but let's find out. First, Explodio. It could actually make the scenario easier as I think about it in some ways. Easier in that the cure progress is going to get set back a lot. Harder in that maybe countries will shut down sooner? I don't know. We're going to find out. I'm not sure how it balances. Saudi Arabia for our start, and we're going to go for a pretty standard lineup as long as everything else is the same. Yep, it looks like it is. Okay, so that's good. Let's just see real quick. I'm going to go ahead and pick up things like the rash, like the coughing, like the cysts, the hypersensitivity. Oh, good. Paralysis is still free and coma is still free. Cool. Well, I mean, I'm not going to say no to that. Like, that's obviously still really useful. I want to make sure that we are getting that coma up and running ASAP because, I mean, anything that slows down the cure is great. Plus, we have a lot of severity right off the bat. I'll also go for the code fragment interception, which is going to slow down the future broadcast by just a little bit. Remember that with the nanovirus, the entire world is already working on the cure. So you really have to fight that cure aggressively kind of off the bat. And if you don't do that, you are going to lose. Let's go for the abscesses up over here. I can also go for things like sweating and some skin lesions. Yes, it's a lot of severity, but since a lot of countries are going to be exploding, I don't really expect anything else. Like, we're going to have to accept the severity. People might shut down once a bunch of people just suddenly drop dead. We'll find out. From here, we can also go for things like insomnia, paranoia. I don't need to go for seizures and insanity, though it is certainly nice to do so if you want. Instead, I'm going to start thinking about some very basic transmissions. Maybe I should grab the sneezing first, actually, at 4 DNA. That's still probably worth it. That little bit of extra infectivity is obviously going to be nice. And then from there, we think about how we're going to get out of Saudi Arabia. That's going to involve using air infectivity and working toward that extreme bioaerosol as quickly as we can. So far, not a lot of people infected, which means that genetic drift is really not impactful right now. But once we start getting out of the country, we're going to get a lot of DNA from red bubbles, which is awesome. So we spread into Iraq, and then we get into Iran, and then we go into all these places in the Middle East, which is great. We have not gotten on a plane for some reason, which, you know, is not guaranteed to happen, but usually does by now. I'll go ahead and grab a second level of air since we seem to be struggling to get on planes, and the faster I spread in some of these dry areas, the better. But I do want to get some boats going quickly because I'm very concerned about our ability to get some of these islands before everyone starts exploding. Saudi Arabia, you're on borrowed time, and you're about to go kaboom. Yes, Rico, kaboom. Let's go ahead and pick up that water level 2. And did they blow up? Well, they don't seem to have blown the heck up. Is something broken? Oh, nope, there they go. Boom! All right, everyone just died instantaneously. That did not give me a lot of DNA, which is a little bit concerning. Okay, the cure is actively at 50% right now, so we need to think about how we're going to be slowing that down further. I'm going to go for pneumonia. Anything that helps me spread faster in the cold country is still quite useful to me at this point. We could go for another code segment in interception, but instead let's start thinking about cold resistance because I do want to spread faster around Northern Europe. I also want to get some of that drug resistance going if we can. Iraq and Iran are about to explode. Boom! There they go. Ha 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 ha. And that did get me a little DNA. It got me a little bit. I'm going to grab a level of drug resistance since we seem to be slow in the USA right now, and I think that'll help. Another cold resistance would be certainly quite good for me. Still working on that cure, but we are actually seeing pieces of it be destroyed. And normally in the nanovirus, you would not be getting that right now because the countries are still working on you. So like when we get into like fully infected in places like China, like this cure progress is going to go way down. I really think that my instincts are correct. This could end up being good for me, but it's going to come down to the dang islands. If we fail, actually, now that I think about it, like if we infect Russia totally, then they won't be able to send any boats into Greenland. Ooh, see, that may change things a little bit. Normally what you want to do is go down code segment interception. There's going to be a replication factory overload setting here, and you're going to have incredibly fast infectivity, which is obviously great. But that actually could work against me in this case. Let's go over the drug resistance. Maybe you can't go for factory overload if you're going to be playing this scenario, and instead you have to play it somewhat normally-ish. Let's go for drug immunity. That's our third level of drug resistance, unique to the nanovirus. Makes us basically immune to all of that. I'm going to grab a level of the livestock since I think we are going to need it. Yeah, what are we missing? I mean, we have Japan. We're missing New Zealand still. They're still active. So even though people are dropping dead, people aren't shutting down their borders yet, which is good. Are we in Mexico? We are. This is risky. Do I dare go for that factory overload? That's the question. I feel like we still need to go for code segment interception regardless. We can go for a level of radical element stabilize, which is basically another level of genetic reshuffle. It's going to set that cure back by quite a lot, down to 45% now. We could go for a level of birds. That might help. I'll do that just to spread a little faster in some neighboring countries since we have lots of DNA coming in. We're struggling in some of the hot areas. Just to boost up my chances, let's go for a level of heat resistance. Could go for some genetic hardening, but to be honest, since we're killing so quickly, I don't think that's the issue. In fact, we don't even need lethality. Just infectivity is technically all that matters. I'm going to go for another level of livestock then, just to try and speed this up. We are spreading in Russia. Can we get a boat out? Can we get a boat out? We are missing the Caribbean. They still have this. It really comes down to this. Can we get Norway or Russia to send into Greenland? Can we get the USA or Mexico to send into the Caribbean? I think I see a boat coming here right now, which is good because the USA is about to explode. So, Greenland? 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 Oh, no, that's Iceland. Dang it. Nope. Russia, don't you die on me. Don't you die on me. You're about to die on me. Don't do it, Russia. No. Yeah! Okay, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. Let's go for seizures. Let's go for insanity. Anything that slows down that cure is basically what's going to get me here. Let's go for a couple levels of genetic hardening. Let's go for another encryption breach. We could theoretically go for what I need now with the factory overload. And you know what? Screw it. I will. Let's just go ahead and do that. So when the factory settings end, what's going to end up happening, of course, is your infectivity is going to collapse. But for at least a little while, we have extremely high infectivity, which means the entire world is about to explode, minus Greenland. I'm going to go ahead and grab environmental hardening. Yeah, that costs a lot of DNA, but I mean, like, it's fine, and I need anything that's going to speed up the cold resistance. The last thing I need then is broadcast interceptor overload for 21 DNA, but once the world explodes, which should be happening any moment now, then I think we're going to end up having plenty to work with. So how are we looking here, Greenland? Let's just keep an eye on this, because when Greenland explodes, that's the end of the scenario. So that's about to happen. I'm going to grab the broadcast interceptor overload now, because I think every country that's fully infected here should die. There should be no healthy people left in the world, which means the scenario should end like tomorrow, right? So we want to do that. That's going to reset the cure by an absolute ton. A genetic reshuffle wouldn't go amiss here. For some reason, I'm literally just stuck waiting for the game to process that everyone is dead. What's left here? Peru, Morocco, New Guinea. Come on. No! All right, my timing on this was a smidge off. It only lasts for a very short period, and then once it's done, you get your cure progress again really fast. So I may have screwed myself out of some points there. To be fair, how am I supposed to know that for some reason the game's not actually ticking fast enough? Like Morocco just hung out for no reason. Now everyone's dead. We're up to 37% cure progress. It should have been down to like 20%, so that sucks. But there we go. The first Explodio has eliminated all life on Earth. Well, we got 3 stars still and beat the game in 238 days with only 37% cure progress, over 100,000 points, which does mean I got the maximum score available for the custom scenario here. Well, not maximum, but a high enough to at least get the 3 stars, so I'm happy with how that turned out, I suppose. Yeah, it's interesting, honestly. It's really kind of cool because I could have seen this going in a couple of different directions, and I think it really did come down to a little bit of luck here. If we had not gotten a boat out of Russia into Greenland at the exact moment we did, that would have been the end of it. So it did change up my build order in a compelling way. Really interesting how that worked out. Cool. I mean, that's awesome, right? People try these little scenarios here in Plague Inc. They change up like one little modifier, and you think, what's that really gonna do? And it turns out it's actually pretty substantial. So I like that. I like that creativity behind it. It's a cool idea for a scenario. Everyone went boom. That makes me feel good. And you know what? At least their death was quick. I can feel good about that. It's one of the most humane endings I've probably ever had in this scenario. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If so, I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.